Ladbrokes is rated A by SBR. Click on their logo to learn more. Hi, welcome to SBRForum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing UFC 170 right now with Brad Taschuk, an MMA analyst for MMAoddsbreaker.com, and our regular guest, Nick Kalikas from MMAoddsbreaker.com. He is an MMA odds maker and consultant for numerous sports books. All right, guys, Demian Maia and Rory MacDonald is the next fight we're going to discuss. And Brad, we discussed this fight last week, and you gave the opinion that, Rory MacDonald just doesn't inspire confidence as a big favorite. At that time, he was minus 285. Now he's moved up a bit to minus 300 at 5 dimes. What's your take on that line movement?
I guess people are listening to me, except they're fading me. So, but I still like Demian Maia here. This is actually the third time in a row that Rory MacDonald's faced a southpaw. He hasn't looked good in any of those fights. Even though he did win clearly over Jake Ellenberger, the one time Ellenberger really committed to getting in and getting the fight to the ground, he was able to. I think if Maia does the same thing and actually commits to getting a takedown here, he's going to make life very, very difficult for Rory MacDonald. So I still like him at plus 250.
Yeah, you had me convinced in our conversation last week, and I'm kind of liking it more now. Nick Kalikas, where'd you open this line? Does this not strike you as one of these lines where it's just the favorite's a little bit too big?
Not at all when it comes to Rory MacDonald. Okay. Unreal what kind of public betting support the guy gets at almost every fight. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I understand, because look at how talented the guy is. I mean, he's a well-rounded fighter. I mean, training with George St. Pierre, a lot of people believe he's going to be the next dominant welterweight champion. I mean, taking over. But I don't know. I mean, he still has too many holes in his game, I think, at this point. And I opened it minus 215 for a reason, because I expect Demian Maia to be competitive in this fight. And you're talking about one of the best grapplers, one of the best. I mean, look what he did to John Fitch, one of the best wrestlers. You can say that right away at 170 as well. I know against Jake Shields, he lost to another dominant grappler in a competitive battle. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, you're talking about top of the food chain in getting the fight to the floor, and top of the food chain, no doubt about it, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, MacDonald, of course, he's very solid on the ground as well. Even if you put him on his back, he's hard to submit. He's very savvy. He's hard to take down. But I think I agree with you guys here. It's one of those situations where the lines are getting overinflated. It pretty much always does in Rory MacDonald's case. But it is a little bit harsh, because MacDonald is definitely a top 5 welterweight at this point, I think, in the UFC ranks. I mean, he's always going to be competitive and probably a favorite over the best at 170 in the UFC. So it is what it is, but I do think it's dog or pass here.
I mean, do you think that MacDonald is the kind of guy who is likely to get breaks from the judges on the cards? Because the total is the market saying that this fight is going to go the distance. Total's 2.5 rounds. Over is minus 245. The under is plus 185.
I'd be nervous completely laying the juice in this spot, because if it does hit the cards, I mean, there's a possibility Demian Maia gets more takedowns and controls it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Of course, the better fighter overall is going to be MacDonald. He's better on the feet a little bit. He has a more versatile striking attack, and he could be a little bit more successful, I think, in that area for sure. But Demian Maia will compete. I mean, like Brad pointed out, he's a southpaw. He's going to make things interesting. His stand-up continues to improve. So it's not going to be a blowout in any aspect of the game.
Right.
If it hits the cards, I'm not sure. I mean, I would be sweating this fight definitely if I'm laying the juice here.
In previous MacDonald fights, have you seen a lot of late action against him from sort of the bigger, sharper accounts?
Well, I mean, against Robbie Lawler, I mean, honestly, it was public, but I bet it as well. So it did drop a little bit there. But, again, it did stay up at a decent price, because there was that kind of support in MacDonald. Right. And there's a lot of other sharps that came in on Robbie Lawler as well. So I think, we have seen it before, and it's probably going to happen potentially here in this spot as well. But you'll have that kind of balanced sharp action, because I'm sure there's going to be some intelligent action that does come in on Rory. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a lot of people parlaying him, thinking that he's just a bad matchup, because he should be able to maybe stay off his back, and he'll outpoint Maia on the feet. So I think that's what you're going to see with people supporting Rory.
All right, interesting handicapping situation here. I think everyone's in agreement that MacDonald should have the edge here, but not necessarily this much of an edge at minus 300, plus 250. Demian Maia is the side, right, Brad?
Absolutely. I think that if it does go to decision, like you said, it's going to be pretty clear no matter how it goes. Either Maia is going to get the takedowns and it'll be a clear decision for him, or MacDonald's going to keep it on the feet, keep Maia at distance, and it'll be a pretty clear decision for him. But at plus 250, I think Maia's going to decide here.